Hi, Chris here, and welcome to this video which is on positive and negative motivations for your dog. There are a lot of things people have to remember when they start dog training. There are a lot of different dog training techniques to try. With so many different aspects of dog training, it's sometimes hard to know which techniques work the best. One of the biggest things that often confuses people with regards to dog training is when to reward your dog and when to reprimand your dog. Most dog training course instructors will tell you that positive training is the best technique to utilise, but unfortunately there are always going to be some instances where you have to reprimand your dog. Reprimanding your dog shouldn't happen often, since dogs respond better to positive reinforcement used in dog training. Before you learn when to reprimand your dog, you should first learn when to reward your dog. You should reward your dog any time that your dog does something that it's supposed to do during training. This can be when it sits, stays, eliminates where it should, fetches, etc. And the reward you use during your dog training can be one of many things, such as praise, kind words, tummy rub, pat on the head, or a treat, or a click if you're using clicker training. Dogs learn very quickly from positive dog training. Dogs tend to want to make you happy if you've first established yourself as the pack leader. And this is why they do so well with this type of dog training. However, be sure you never reward bad behaviour. For a young dog, bear in mind that it will not always be so young and light in weight, so don't reward behaviours that won't be wanted when it's a big dog later on, such as jumping up on people. Reprimanding is a type of dog training that should not be done unless necessary. This can be when your dog jumps up or eliminates in the wrong place or barks or growls in inappropriate situations, pulls on a leash or destroys something, etc. You must only reprimand your dog if you catch it in the act of doing something wrong, otherwise the dog won't realise what it did. This is because the dog won't remember for more than a few seconds. It won't associate the reprimand with something that happened even 10 seconds ago, so only reprimand at the time of the incorrect action. The reprimand used for this dog training should be a quick, sharp no or bad dog. Your tone should be angry, but remember to be short and quick. If you constantly do this, your words will end up being ignored by the dog. Never spank, hit or constantly scold your dog, as this will only lead to more problems in the future. Dogs live for our facial expressions and body language. Because of this, the worst punishment you ever need to give your dog is a scowl and turn away from him. You can see his tail fall down, his face will get sad. He will learn this lesson for sure, but his attention span is only 3 to 5 minutes, so don't scorn him any longer than that. Give him your happy face again. Physical punishment is almost never necessary. Use consistent commands and loving praise, and he will know what you want of him really easily. He will become a master of knowing how your body language works and facial expressions very rapidly. These are all things you need to focus on when determining when to reprimand or reward your dog during training. Remember to be patient because your dog is learning and trying its best. Most reward training uses some sort of food reward or reward that is associated with getting food, although praise can be a very effective type of reward as well. In most cases, complex behaviours can only be taught using this kind of positive reinforcement, and you'll find that people who train dogs for movies and TV use reward training almost exclusively. Reward training sometimes incorporates the use of a lure, such as a small treat, in order to get the dog into the position desired by the trainer. The lure is used to get the dog to perform the desired behaviour on his or her own and of his or her own free will. It makes a great deal of sense to get the dog to perform the desired behaviour without any physical intervention on the part of the handler. Getting the dog to perform a behaviour without being touched is important. After the dog has performed the desired behaviour, it's given a reward, which is called positive reinforcement. Treats are often used as reinforcers, but praise such as "good dog" in a positive tone of voice or a pat on the head can also be effective rewards. Many dog trainers make the mistake of only training the dog inside the house or backyard and only when the handler is there. In order to become a reliably trained companion, the dog must be taken outside the confines of its safety zone and introduced to novel and unusual situations. It is also important to teach the dog to pay attention to the handler at all times. Having the attention of the dog means having control over the dog. Reward training is very effective at getting the respect and attention of the dog when used properly. With some love and consideration, your dog should do well with its dog training, which will be a rewarding experience for you both. The next video will be on how dog training works and will be a slightly more advanced perspective. So if you don't think that's right for you, feel free to ignore the next video and go on to the one after. So that's it for this video. See you in the next one.